Hello everybody, welcome back to the Chunky Steel. This is Jordan, and today I have an important weather update as we do have a lot of activity in the tropics, especially in the western Pacific Ocean, although we do have some activity in the eastern Pacific Ocean and the northern Atlantic Ocean. So anyways, let's just straight into this weather forecast. So first of all, in the Atlantic, we have one area of interest here. 20% chance of formation 7 days. This is from a tropical wave that is moving off the coast of Africa, and this is going to move slowly to the west-northwest, and it could gradually develop as it does so. Now going to the eastern Pacific, we have this area of interest, which is an 80% chance of formation for 8 hours and an 80% chance of formation 7 days. This will likely form into either a tropical depression or a tropical storm over the next couple of days, but there is a chance that it does not develop as it is slowly running out of time. And if it does not develop over the next couple of days, the chances of it developing will slowly go down. Now looking at our active systems, we have one active system, which is Tropical Storm Gabriel. You can see right now it's at 45 knots or 50 miles an hour. If it gusts up to 55 knots or 65 miles an hour, but it's expected to gradually strengthen after it stops dealing with the dry air it is currently in. It's expected to peak as a low in Category 2 hurricane with sustained winds of 85 knots or 100 miles an hour and wind gusts of 105 knots or 120 miles an hour. Luckily, this is not expected to impact land much, not even Bermuda, as it is now expected to go well to the east of Bermuda. Now look at the forecast cone. You can see it still has a decently large wind field, and this wind field will shrink a little bit as it moves to the northwest before it slowly turns away from Bermuda there over the next several days, and as it moves to the northeast eventually towards the open waters of the subtropical Atlantic. Looking at the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, we actually have 3 systems active. We have Maytag, Regasa, and Neoguri. First of all, looking at Maytag, this has been around for a few days, but you can see it's currently at 40 knots with a decently large wind field there. It's at 45 miles an hour, is expected to make landfall to the east of Hong Kong before bringing some tropical storm force winds to Hong Kong as a low and tropical storm with 40 mile an hour sustained winds before slowly dissipating over mainland China. Now looking at Regasa, this is the system we should be concerned about as expected to rapidly intensify from 60 knots to 90 knots from the 19th to the 20th, which it goes from 70 miles an hour to 105 miles an hour, which is a bare minimum for rapid intensification, which is 35 miles an hour or greater within 24 hours, and is expected to peak as an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane to the north and northeast of the Philippines, and it could bring some of those winds to these islands, especially that one very, very close to the center of the storm. That's where we should be most concerned. And you can see as it goes there, its hurricane force wind field is pretty much the same size as its like 50 knot wind field, which is very rare to see. And if you know any family or friends in the path of this storm, please let them know about this, because this is not just your typical tropical storm or low-end typhoon. This is going to be a very dangerous system that could bring catastrophic damage to some areas. And then finally we have Neoguri, which is expected to stay away from land, but is expected to become a borderline major hurricane with sustained winds of 95 knots or 110 miles an hour in a few days. As a Category 2 hurricane, right now it's only at 35 knots or 40 miles an hour, and you can see, unlike the other system, it is expected to gradually intensify. Now, looking at satellite imagery from Tropical Tidbits, here's Tropical Storm Gabriel. You can see it doesn't look very tropical at this moment. It looks more extratropical. But you can see it's starting to get some more convection, and it will likely regain its tropical status soon, even though it's already considered tropical. Here's Tropical Storm Metag. You can see it has some decent convection there, and it is decently organized. And it will soon make landfall to the east of Hong Kong. Here is Regasa, very well organized as just a low and tropical storm. Remember that 24 hours ago we weren't really even sure if this was going to form or not. I think it was like a medium chance of formation. And now we're expecting a Category 4 hurricane to the north of the Philippines, which is just insane. Here is Neoguri. You can see decently well organized, not the best, but you could tell by just the satellite that is a low and tropical storm at least. Won't be surprised if they upgrade to like 45 miles an hour the next advisory, but overall it doesn't look like it's strengthening much as of now. And here's 96C. You can see a lot of the convection is starting to move away from the storm, and some of it's starting to collapse. The storm's really running out of time to form, and if it doesn't form within like the next day or two, I don't think it's really going to have any time to form. So anyways, here's the Google DeepMind, the AI model. You can see here is Gabriel. You can see it has it becoming a Category 2 hurricane very briefly, which wouldn't surprise me. Here's Bermuda over here, they wouldn't get affected. Now, looking at 96E, you can see none of them have it becoming a tropical storm, but just have it being a tropical storm for low pressure system, which is interesting. Here is this system over here. Just look at how large the cone is. It stretches from Alaska all the way over to south of Japan. And you can see it briefly has it becoming a Category 3 typhoon before moving to the northeast and briefly re-strengthening to hurricane status, which will likely be as extratropical before dissipating well to the southwest of Alaska or to the south of Russia there. Then we have this system over here as well, which this is the one that's expected to become a Category 4 typhoon. You can see it gets into the Category 4 range, like a low and Category 4 typhoon. Could get up to 140 miles an hour, wouldn't surprise me. Chances of Category 5 aren't zero, but low at this moment. And this is this final system here. Will make landfall to the east of Hong Kong soon. And it will then slowly die out as it moves inland. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, sharing this with your friends and family, especially those in the path of these storms, and leaving a comment down below, and subscribing to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.